So today we're going to read chapter 10. It's called The Wanderer. When Professor Albert finally woke up, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. Gwendolyn was waving her antenna like an inspired conductor. Kona could be heard rattling down in the basement. Some little bits of egg roll lay on the carpet, and the world outside was nothing but solid, unyielding ice. It was too much for an old biology professor. He refilled Kona's dish, handed Gwendolyn a piece of broccoli, put on an extra pair of socks, and went straight to his bedroom. Professor Albert had never been an amateur when it came to sleeping. Years of standing beside philosophy majors trying to label the insides of frogs had taught him the fine art of turning off his brain whenever he wished. So he turned it off and went back to sleep. Kona was down in the basement. Kona was trying to settle his house guests into a giant box of Christmas decorations. "This is embarrassing," said Kona, plumping a Christmas tree skirt around the babies with a gentle paw. "Ordinarily, I'd put you in the guest room. Very nice. Its own bath. But I don't think we could count on a hearty welcome from Professor Albert." Once a chipmunk wandered in, and he chased it for 2 hours with a colander. "He cooks Italian?" Murray said. Kona smiled and turned to leave. "I hope you find Stumpy," Murray said solemnly. Kona nodded and looked again at the 3 sleeping children. "Now that the professor is in his bedroom, I'll be able to go to the park again," Kona said. "I'll toss down a bag of marshmallows before I go. Then I'll get some real food for you when I get back." "Marshmallows are real food," said Murray, perking up. "Wish me luck, Murray," Kona said, quickly going up the stairs. It was a painful run back to the park. Kona's cut stung badly in the cold. The pads of his feet hurt from the ice's abrasion, and his entire body ached. But the dog made it back to the park, and this time more quickly. He was afraid Stumpy might be injured and hurting somewhere. There was no time to waste thinking of his own bumps and bruises. A few of the animals in Gooseberry Park had begun to emerge from the wreckage. They wandered slowly in the moonlight. A large black crow flew low overhead, surveying the sight. "Have you seen a little red squirrel?" Kona called to the crow. "A girl?" asked the crow. No, a squirrel, a little red one." Kona waited as the crow landed beside him. "A squirrel, you say?" said the crow. "Yes," said Kona. "Red?" "Yes." "About this big?" said the crow, opening his wings. Yes, Kona said excitedly. "No," the crow said. "No," repeated Kona. The crow spread his enormous wings and left. "Gwendolyn was right," Kona muttered to himself as the bird disappeared. "Crows really are smart Alex." Kona sniffed all around the fallen pin oak. It was so difficult to catch a good scent, with the ground so frozen, and so much of Stumpy's home was scattered. A possum limped past. Her ear was bleeding. "I've lost my boy," she said to Kona. "Have you seen my boy?" "No, I'm sorry," Kona replied with concern. "Mama!" a voice cried out from a nearby spruce. The possum gasped. "He's there! I'm coming, dear, I'm coming!" Kona smiled and watched as the mother possum made her way across the ice to her son. Here's a picture. A small gray shape slipped down the trunk of the spruce and leaped onto her back. Watching them leave, Kona felt a heavy sadness. Turning, he called, "Stumpy! Stumpy!" "Who?" a voice asked from the branches of a fallen walnut tree. "Who?" it asked again. Kona saw 2 large yellow eyes peering at him through the branches. "Stumpy, the little red squirrel," Kona answered. "Do you know her?" The owl lifted himself up and flew nearer Kona. "I certainly do," said the owl. "She has those babies with the strange names. What are they? Up? Down?" "Top and bottom," Kona answered. "And Sparrow, the little girl." "Oh yes, lovely children." The owl suddenly winced with pain. "Are you all right?" Kona asked him in alarm. "Thank you. Yes. Just a twist in the neck from the fall. I was eating dinner when my tree went down, paying no attention whatever. It hit before I knew what was happening. Did you see Stumpy? Have you seen her since the storm? I heard her, said the owl. Heard her? Where? When? I'm not certain when, said the owl. The evening is a bit of a blur, you know. But I heard her. She was saying, I have to find Paradise Lane. Oh my goodness, exclaimed Kona. She's looking for me, and she's completely confused. Paradise Lane is where I was born, not where I live now. My home is on Miller Street. Oh my, said the owl. That is nowhere near Paradise Lane. I know, cried the dog. If she's headed to Paradise Lane, she'll never find me. And how will I even find her? The owl began to shake his head. This took a while, of course. When an owl shakes his head, he first must turn it very, very slowly to the far, far left. He must then turn it very, very slowly to the far, far right. Kona was amazed as he watched. The owl winced again. Your neck, said Kona. Yes, said the owl. But why did you shake your head, asked Kona. Because you will not be able to find her, said the owl. But I have to. She is wandering, my boy, and no one can find a wanderer. The wanderer must first find you. Kona sighed with frustration. Stumpy isn't very smart. She doesn't even know what a television is. A what? Asked the owl. Never mind, Kona said glumly. My feet are frozen, and there are 3 babies and a bat in the Christmas ornaments, and then Professor Albert's marshmallows. Snap out of it, son, the owl grumbled. Go on home now, you're babbling. Kona turned to go back home. And where are all of her yogurt cups, he said, and the rubber bands? Did Murray say he's Italian? The owl sat and stared as the weary, large Labrador mumbled and slipped his way across the ice, heading back to his home on Miller Street, wishing it were paradise.